Is that fan loud? Oh, it must be the one where I'm like pointing down at the gangster rap made me do it. Yeah, I don't know. It was just some shit over in the West Bottoms. I liked it, so I took a picture on it. But there's like a freaky skeleton fetus under the crown. Yeah, I just got out of YouTube jail. For no, it wasn't bullying. It was medical misinformation. Misinformation. It was wrong think. I did wrong think. Hi, Winston's mom. Hi, Sally Sue. I don't really have anything at all planned or I have nothing right now. I just hadn't been on a long time. I'm just at the clink. Oh, I do have a in the description box there's a link to the backup channel. I made a backup channel because I'm on my second strike and so if I get another strike in the next 6 months, I'm bounced out. So go to that, subscribe. There's a couple of videos on there that I didn't upload here, and I may do that from time to time. I don't know. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it. Yeah, we are in the new place, and it's good. I like it. We're close enough to town that I'm basically in Kansas City every day. We're far enough out of town that I can burn stuff in the front yard anytime I want. And the suburb or town we live in, DeSoto, it doesn't have a police department. Isn't that cool? There's no city police, just a satellite office of the Johnson County Sheriff's Office. How goes the gardening? The gardening is great. We've got a huge yard here. Huge. I mean, compared to the duplex we were living in, it's huge. And I just did some more today. I tilled up some more. I bought a motor tiller thing, and it's an older one, so it takes some babying. But I just tilled up like the side yard today, even though it's late in the year. I don't know. I might plant more sugar snap peas because like I don't get super excited about vegetables, but I really do like sugar snap peas, and you can grow them late in the year. At least that's what I read. Well, I don't know what about asterisking. Thank you. Cool. Hi, Ashby. Yeah, this is the door to the bedroom. Um, so I don't smoke in the house. I never have smoked in any of my houses. I just don't do it. So I don't know that, you know, this isn't the best permanent spot because I don't really want to start smoking cigarettes here. And if I don't have a spot where I can smoke at, these live streams become uh, fewer and further in between. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're still getting things set up. The previous people who lived here kind of didn't do shit to this house for years. So I've been, cutting trees off the house and rebuilding doors and shit. STP stuff. Uh, I didn't know that. I had no idea about that. That's sweet. You know, Facebook is disturbingly good at choosing out news articles for me. Where's the news tab on here? Did you guys see the fuck Joe Biden chant? Streaming. No, you're fine. I just want you to know. You can do that. I don't know how long I'll be on. I'm also kind of hungry. Could you like toast me to me for it? Are you gonna make pork? You don't have to. It's whatever. How long does it take? That's fine. Thank you. Who's Z Pierre? 509. Yeah, YouTube has. I mean, I have two strikes now. I just got out. That's why I haven't uploaded anything in a while. I just got 2.5 week sentence, and I'm out now. And prior to that, I had just gotten off a two strike thing. So the way that YouTube works is if you have three strikes on your profile, the third one they yank your channel. But they roll off over time after I don't know what it is, 6 months or something. So I just got a second one, and I'd been down to one strike for like a month or so. Before that, I'd had two strikes. So it's just sort of I've been on probation forever the whole time. I don't think I've had not any strikes since I started this channel, basically. And that's why I can't monetize. I applied to monetize when I hit 1,000, but if you have any strikes, you can't monetize. So it's just like, you know what, fuck that shit. Um, I don't have nearly the views for the amount of money to matter, and I'm just not going to shut up for some piddly pocket change. Is there stuff going on in Nashville or Chicago? I you said Chicago. Yeah, you said Chicago earlier. Joe Biden doesn't like the fuck Joe Biden chanting at the football games. Imagine that. Oh, do you live by Nashville? Uh, I thought Bourbon Street is in Memphis, right? Yeah, I've been to the Bourbon Street in Memphis. Oh, I guess there's probably one in a lot of places. Well, I've been to the one in Memphis. My ex-wife's family is from Memphis. I've only ever driven through Nashville, but it is the friendliest city of people I've ever stopped and got food at a drive-through in. I love it when girls go wild. So you're out in the country. When they start rounding up people like me for not having the coof shot, you got to take us in, Winston's mom. You got to be like Schindler. Put me on your list and save me from the Nazis. The headline of this New York Times article is researchers to study whether the vaccines affect women's periods. Why? Um, Kind of late in the game. I thought we'd been assured that that was not the case. That would be fun. I would go to that for sure. I'm not much of a golfer. Like I have golf clubs and I can do it. It's I'm good at it, but 18 holes of golf is a long time to spend golfing. You know, I don't. I'm kind of just broadly of the opinion that I don't know that I want science tampering with biology a whole bunch anymore. Like, I mean, not permanently, just like we need to take some time off. We need to spend some time apart, us and biologically tinkering with things as rapidly as we can. Like, I know that they're FDA approved and we all eat them all the time, but I don't trust the GMOs at all. This is my belief. I don't have any proof for it, but the dropping sperm counts. You know how men's sperm rate is dropping and testosterone is dropping, coincides with the implementation of GMO corn and everything. The way that Monsanto modifies corn is they make it sterile so that you have to keep buying seed from them. But wouldn't it make sense just at a basic reasoning level that maybe the sterile corn is causing sterility in the people that are eating it? I don't know. Again, I'm just speculating, but that just seems to make a lot of sense to me, and nobody's really addressing that. Yeah, that sounds. We'll do it. I'm down if we're still allowed to travel. Then Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, it's all bad. Corn syrup is. I try to avoid corn syrup. Like, not real. Like, I don't. I haven't. It's nothing extreme. Like, I still just drank a Mountain Dew, Code Red. But I make a conscious effort to avoid corn syrup when I can, or if there's like a sugar alternative, I for sure go for that. I'm sure plastics aren't good. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. I mean, living in a society where smart society with all that radiation, that's not good for you. You basically have to move out to Cumberland Plateau to get away from all the toxins in our environment. Cell phones, your cell phone is a huge source of radiation. I told somebody in one of the live streams like 2 months ago, I'd make a video using this thing. It's an electromagnetic frequency detector, like $400, but you can use it and figure out, where the radiation is coming from off your phone, off your router, off, your 5G towers, whatever. And I was going to make a video demonstrating it, and I still need to. I will, but we've been moving and all that shit. Been a lot going on. That's good. I like that. Um, I will look for that. Yeah, um, they are, and absolutely, and they're. I mean, they're just. How do I? I'm not getting into this topic because two community guideline strikes, but they're just not telling the truth about a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. If you have if you have the negatives censored out of discussion, how can you ever feel confident in your decision? You can't. Um, and it's just it really undermines your confidence in the whole system. I was not anti-vax until I started researching the new ones, and now I'm like anti is a pretty strong word, but I'm certainly apprehensive. I'd call myself very apprehensive because I started doing research into it. Before that, I just lottie dot along like everybody else does. But once they started doing things like editing, like censoring your information that you're using to make your own health decisions, um, then I started digging around, and yeah, I won't go to a hospital. Like I'll have to be, in pieces, laying in the middle of the road, um, needing to be sewn back together to go to the hospital. I'm not going to those places. They fucking kill people. They prescribe them poison. Um, they shove tubes down their throats. I mean, it's just no good comes of it. I mean, some good can come of it, but I think the odds are against it. And I'm sure that a pill to stop your period is going to do not great things to your hormones. I don't know. I'm speculating again, but there are always side effects. I'd want to know the mechanism by how it does it. Yeah, that can't be good for you, really. I'm sure. I have no doubt they're annoying. If I had one, I'd want to get rid of it too. But that's yeah. Hello, Winston's mom. Jeremiah said hi to you. What makes a medical source good? Well, she's going to school. She's in sixth grade. Um, She likes it. She's doing great. You know, all A's, making friends. Teachers like her. She likes it. You know, and it's a good. We're in a good school district, so I'm basically happy with everything except for the mask bullshit. It makes me absolutely insane. Like I just found her class picture, or I just saw her class picture, and it's just like dystopian. Seeing this whole mob of kids all with face masks on, smushed together. It's such an exercise in doublethink. It makes me fucking crazy. Um, but I just stay out of it. I mean, I don't think about it because if I think about it, then I get angry, and when I get angry, I start doing things. And I'm trying not like we just moved to this town. It's too soon. But I guess if she's happy and whatever, you know, she's 11. She needs to deal with the world on her own and not have me coming in and clearing the path and fighting everybody for her. I did ask. I said if you had a medical exemption from a doctor, um, would you be happy to not wear the mask at school, or would you would you not like it because then you'd be the one person standing out? And she said that she'd probably not want to be. I think there's one kid who doesn't wear a mask at school, and she said she didn't want to be the number two, which I get. So I'm not like, so I'm just gonna save my hey, I need a favor doctor cards for later. Uh, yeah, that's not good for you to be way out of balance like that for a long time. Yeah, I get it. I get it. That's, but I am, you know, doing the things that I can't like without. I'm trying to not to impact her life too much. So I'm not like front and center, but I am sort of loosely involved in a couple little organizations locally to help push back against this bullshit. Yeah, it certainly can be, but it seems to be going smoothly as far as I can tell. But you know what? Going to school, can you imagine being that age and you know returning to school after a year and a half and middle school? This is our first year of middle school, and looking around and everybody's masked constantly. That we're mastering fucking gym. Oh my god, it makes me insane. Like who's what fucking genius thinks that this is a good idea? Nobody. Nobody thinks it's a good idea to have kids wearing mastering gym. But nobody has the balls to want to be responsible for doing anything that would violate the douchebag, you know, medical recommendations. So what do? Well, I don't know. Ask your kids. If you sent your kid to gym class with a face mask on 2 years ago, DCF would be at your house that afternoon. I can be a little bit tribal, um, but not that much. Like I like to be included in groups and as a periphery, I guess, but not as like the group identity or the group norms cannot interfere with my individual course of action. That's why I never joined a fraternity in college. I rushed them for two. and a half. Basically, I rushed them until I ran out of places that would rush me. Because when you're rushing a fraternity, they take you out basically, and they wine and dine you and buy all the drinks and all that shit. And it was a good time to party for free. So I rushed basically all the frats as long as I could, but I just couldn't ever bring myself to join one. Um, I'm just not doing that. I mean, face masks make things worse. People don't wash them, and so do gloves. You know how when you're wearing gloves, if something gets on your hand, you don't notice it. You just leave it. You don't wash it off as much uh, as when you can feel it. Masks present the same problem, but probably worse. You got gloves on, you're touching your mask. I mean, not at school, but at like fast food restaurants. Um, you're breathing your own fucking recycled. I mean, it's just unhealthy behavior, and it's superstitious behavior. Really, is what it is. It's a superstitious placebo activity. Um, but if you violate the superstition, if you're on the school board and you violate the superstition being promoted, well, you then are responsible for holding the bag if you have an outbreak of something that's not tested for. You know, if you look into PCR tests, they're very manipulatable, and there's not even a test for the D variant. I don't know. I'm starting to get ranty. Private girls' college brings good things to mind. Yes, and my cigarettes count as two servings of vegetables because they're menthol. So I smoke one serving of vegetables with the tobacco, and I smoke one serving of vegetables with the flavor. Um, so that my cigarettes are good for me too. Yeah, no, I am particularly not okay with the masks at school. I won't wear one because I'm not a fucking slave, and nobody can tell me I have to wear a mask. And if that's an issue, then I just won't go to that place. But you know, my inconvenience bothers me less than abusing children. Oh yeah, well, right. So it's like how Olympians train in the mountains in Colorado. Yeah, I get that. But you don't live like that all the time while you're developing and going. I mean, like, how can you learn shit? You know, which I guess that's okay because I don't think that school teaches a lot of useful information, anyways. I think it indoctrinates people, but you can't tell me that you're learning better, focusing better, performing better with this fucking thing on your face all the time. Hmm. Nicely done. Um, yeah, fuck those things. Fly guys coming in with lots of good advice for getting rid of that period. You can become pregnant. That'll offer you a nice reprieve. Most guys just pull them out the bottom and just wear it high. I hope that that's a joke, but God, that's the darkest joke. That is true. That will stop them, but I mean, I think getting pregnant is a much better option. And Fly Guy's got nothing to do tomorrow night. Your luck. New company is trying to resurrect the woolly mammoth to combat climate change. That makes no sense. If we've got too many cows and people, allegedly, farting into the atmosphere, why do we want to bring back more bigger elephants? Oh, it's a video. I'll fuck with it later. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Katie's daughter's living with us now, so we got two in the house. I don't know. Not a strong yes or no. I guess I wasn't trying to get the first one. My attitude towards kids is basically like my attitude towards wives or girlfriends has been, in that I've never been pursuing one actively, but not avoiding them either. It's sort of like, maybe. I don't really want it like a 2-year-old. My buddy's got a 2-year-old, and every time that I'm with him, I remember how exhausting it is having a 2-year-old. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't feel particularly strongly either way, but I do know that I would like to not have a 2-year-old. Damn. That's what I'd say too. She just like shot the fuck out of you. That's pretty old, isn't it? Maybe. What's your mutant power? I can get pregnant for an extra 30 more years. I will look him up. Like Zulu. Yeah, we do need more people to our population age distribution is unbalanced. I agree. More people need to have kids. There's this whole attitude like, oh my gosh, I would never have kids. Bring them into this world until my life is perfect, and I know that I can take care of everything perfectly, which is very narcissistic attitude if you think about it. But it's also nonsensical. The world's always had its problems, and you just learn to deal with them instead of thinking it's taking that like negative ass attitude. I hear a lot out of people. The thing that my ex-wife's dad told me when she got pregnant. When she got pregnant, I wasn't was I was really not open to having kids then, but it happened, and I was freaking the fuck out. And he said something that I thought was really insightful. He said, you will never feel like you've made it to the stability point that you can have kids at now. You're always going to feel like you could have more things in order, you could have more money, what this, that, or whatever. He said, but you know, you just got to do it. Sometimes it just happens when it happens, and you're ready. Then you realize that you're ready, even though you wouldn't have felt like it beforehand. Well, I don't know how old you are, but that's what I thought until I had one. Gets better. I like them. So you don't believing in child free? I don't not believe in it. I do think that that's everybody's personal choice, but I think that there's a cultural narrative that's spread too far and that's inaccurate, which is the world's fucked up. We're overpopulated. Um, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. The reality is the world's always been fucked up. You're like the general you, most people are probably way more ready than they feel like. And um, in 20 years, at the way that the birth rate is, in 20 years, we're more likely to have not enough people because like I said, the distribution of age among the population is way fucked off. We need to have kids, or else by the time I'm 65, 70, like fuck it, there'll be no kids left. There's going to be nobody to, I don't know, perpetuate things. There'll be a bunch of us old fucks. And I'm not counting on any social security to be around for me. That's not going to happen, but still. Maybe. I don't know you. I don't know you. That's not my call, but I do know I normally hear that out of people who would make just fine moms, and normally the horrible ones think that they're great. So the fact that you're saying that makes me, you know, wonder. Speak the truth. Exactly. And yeah, mine came because my pull-out method stopped working. It worked hella good for a long time, but goddamn, there's I know exactly when it was too because I was like, oh shit, it was on the floor. We were watching, and Scooby Doo was on the TV. I remember that too. But that gave out on me. Dude, my pipes held so strong for so much longer than you'd expect. But yeah, all right, Fly Guy, this is your chance. I mean, it's our chance, all of our chance. have not seen the Woody Allen skit, but yeah, I'm aware of that. But in my experience, it's absolutely the finale that has like, because like I said, it was one time, and boom, she's pregnant. Trying to explain it without over explaining it, you know. She hasn't asked. I mean, it's not like I'd hide it from her, but no, we have not had that discussion. I don't know why. Every like most of us are oopsies. I don't think it, and I don't. Does it matter? I'm an oopsie. She's an oopsie. You know, we're all. I just, yeah, we're all oopsies. But since they're not here, tell us. The morning wood come? Were they drunk as fuck come? Were they that kind where you only eat blueberries for like 2 days and then it blew? I've heard. I can't ever do it. I get too hungry. I mean, I could see wanting to, like, if she was adopted, I could see how that would be something I need to tell her, but it seems like a non-factor to me whether somebody was planned or not. I just tend to assume that most people weren't, and I think that's accurate. Most people weren't planned. Oh my god, I bet girls loved giving you blowjobs. I only know that because I had somebody ask me to do it. Turns out that after about like dinner time the first day, you just can't live on nothing but blueberries. Like you need real food. I need to eat. I need meat. I'm a pretty carnivorous person, and if I make it till dinner time without eating meat, I don't feel right. Even if I've eaten enough, it just my brain gets kind of foggy and I get kind of angry and I need to eat something with meat. But you had a 50-50 shot, so I don't I don't know that I believe that. Which I'm normally good with because fruit's not that filling, and I love fruit, but I need to have meat or at least eggs. Like I can do eggs. That's I mean, it's not 50-50 for I mean, it's determined on the dad. The dad is the source of the decision of that. So it's not 50-50 with your dad. but across the population, I think it is. Well, it's probably 60-40. I mean, but across, you get what I'm saying. You have two options. It's a yes or no question, basically. Um, it would be easier, and the jam feels great. That is true, but Fly Guy, the jam, yeah, you can outcome once while you're applying the jam, and you can outcome again um, when you're getting the dome. Mrs. Mom, that's brilliant. Thank you for the advice. I'm hungry. Winston's mom has a great idea. I'll tell you about it when you get back. He's gonna love it. Well, I just assumed that you'd microwave it. Not too long, only like 5 seconds, maybe. Just to get that cold out. You know what a fifi is? They got a thing called a fifi in prison, and it's where you take a latex glove. Was it a latex glove and fill it with lotion and microwave it, and then roll it up in your bed mat, which is like your mattress, but it's a bed mat. Roll it up in your bed mat and have sex with it. And I'm told it's fantastic, but I still haven't tried it. I wasn't in prison. I was in jail, and not 3.5 months isn't long enough to start building contraptions to have sex with. Exactly. Good afternoon. You came in at a hell of a time. Probably. But when you're in prison, I don't think you give a shit. And and I'm sure you don't microwave it that long. I don't know how long you microwave it for, but you probably don't want it that hot. I mean, so as a reference point, I used to when I was on supervised bond. I was out on bond, and I had to take drug tests weekly for it. Here's a bitch. What I used to do is I'd take a flask and I'd I'd take a flask and I'd fill it with iced tea, the Lipton green tea. You can go to a gas station and that Lipton green tea in the bottle, uh, that will pass a UA, but you have to get it at the right temperature. So I'd fill a flask with that stuff, but first I'd microwave it, and a whole flask full of green tea out of the fridge. I'd only microwave it for 5 seconds, and then when I got there, it was you're not wanting to microwave very long. Yeah, I'd microwave it, and I'd put it in a steel flask, and then I'd throw it out in the front yard so it'd sit in the sun, like until I was ready to go. So while I'm getting my shoes and keys and stuff, it's not cooling off too much, in the shade in the air conditioned kitchen. It's cooking out in the front yard in the sun in a steel thing. Pro tip: Lipton green tea. Winston's mom, you got all the best advice. I'm No, I don't think that would be it. Everybody would know what's up. Even even in jail, like Oh, I'm not gonna get it, but like, nah, it's just understood that sometimes motherfuckers need to change the oil, just standard maintenance, or else you start getting dudes who are like cranky and if you're cranky in jail, like nobody wants to be trapped in a 30 by 30 room with other cranky dudes. It just sucks. So look at you going crazy with these ideas. Yeah, they will, but you know what? They might not be doing it right now, but they'll be doing it later too. You can do you could do the stranger and sit on your hand until it goes to sleep and then reach around the back. What were we discussing? Well, we were just talking about having sex with gloves filled with microwave lotion. Um, and I did a little rant about how much I hate masks at school. Um, I think that's about it. Really, nothing of substance. I just wanted to do a quick stream because I've been in YouTube jail for a few weeks and I got out. So was all NOFA. I don't know what NOFA is. I don't think it'd be wants to with 30 dudes, but except for maybe Ash, Ash bite. Um, but like I said, I've never been to prison. Yeah, that sucks. Jail sucks. No. Um, the best thing there was French toast day because I like French toast and it's hard to fuck up. My daughter's does. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and now I'm sort of still on parole because if I get one more if I get more community guideline strike, then I'll have three, and flow state will be, which is going to happen sooner or later. That's why if you just got here and didn't hear me earlier, there's a link in the description box to the backup channel, as well as a couple videos that I put up during the thing. But uh, subscribe to that because sooner or later, I'm sure. I mean, sooner or later, I'm going to get kicked out of this. It's bound to happen. Yeah, and a lot of people end up fucking guards. Actually, having sex with the guards is way more common than you'd think. Oh yeah, New Zealand. I could be wrong, but I'm under the impression New Zealand is pretty fucking draconian right now. I've been paying a lot more attention to Australia, which is crazy. They've gone back to being a prison planet. It's a penal colony again. Um, but I'm under the impression, correct me if I'm wrong, that New Zealand is pretty bad too. Good guy. I need to fix his politics. Like he's an ISTP, so I know that I know that he can be saved and converted. I've just gotta just take some time and some work. You gotta pull him out of the information shithole he's apparently been living in. And if you feed him some good stuff, then his TI it'll all start to click for him at some point. But you gotta push him over the tipping point. No, it was the same white bread that your hot dogs came with. You know that you're saying everything came on the same sort of white bread, and no, it was not good for us. And I didn't make it either because I would the jail administrator would never let me be a trustee. That's in jails they have what are called trustees, and the trustee it's basically like it's an inmate who gets to help with some of the work, some of the staff work, um, and for that you get a few more freedoms, like you get to get out of your cell and do this or do that, help in the kitchen, whatever. I could never be a trustee. That I requested a whole bunch of times, but what do you say, Dan, the fat fucking jail administrator who always wore a bulletproof vest anywhere, even though he didn't leave the jail, nobody ever shot at him, and he was too fucking fat to keep his gut inside of the vest. Dan would not let me be a trustee because he said I was too argumentative. I said, no, I'm not. And we both laughed. Their whole thing about being closed to get their channel banned. I don't understand what you're saying. Saying, yeah, guards. Guards are like guards are like cop rejects. They're like the factory seconds of police. And police are kind of a fucked up bunch of people themselves. That's lovely. Aren't they all? Yeah, especially if you don't have like I don't know if it's the lack of NE or what it is, but ISTPs seem to be worse about that than any NTPs or ESTPs. It's like if they're eating the wrong diet of information, they don't pop out of it. Until I come along with a crowbar and pry them the fuck out. I'm the same way. I've really reduced white flour, even though I do like pancakes and French toast. But I kind of try to avoid it. It's just garbage. Pancakes and French toast, and when I say pancakes and French toast, I at my house always I love real maple syrup. I don't like the kind of brown sugar shit. The brown, it's just brown corn syrup, most of it. I don't like that Aunt Jemima bullshit. But real maple syrup is so fucking good. I eat it all the time. I've never even heard of challah bread, but I'm actually going to search it right now in a different tab so I don't forget because I do like the fuck out of French toast. Oh, huh. Hmm. I've never had I've never had French toast made out of that bread. What's up, Suze? And I'm getting behind the comments. Yeah, and I think that they did that to schools a little bit too, or maybe that was. I think that was Obama. What's her name? Mike Obama. I think that she did the same thing with schools too. Yeah, making shit healthy, that's code for reducing quantities. They absolutely do not give a fuck if you're healthy in there. Well, interesting. I wonder if let me try. Maybe I typed something wrong or whatever. You can also search flow state backup, and you'll see a picture of me in the icon. But if I put a fucked up link, I need to change that. On the ladder of what? Oh, amongst guards. So they're like they've got there's somewhere as far as they're less competent than cops, but they're also less. They have less authority than guards. So they're kind of like they're like the incoming freshman class. They're not very good at anything, and they're also, you know, not seriously fucking things up because they just don't really have that much authority compared to the rest. All right, try. There's a new for that. They put a bad link around a lot of. Well, that's sort of what I'm doing. I mean, I hope to stay here, but realistically, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, that doesn't seem like a good strategy because you're selling your product or you're selling a channel to people who you already have on a channel. Yeah, I mean, it is possible that will happen to me. I'm not trying to get kicked off. It's not a strategy, but at this point, I've been on two strikes collectively for a year and a half. Like, and and the censorship is getting tighter, and the things happening in the world are making me ragier. So as those things escalate, I just don't see how. I was already treading water. I don't see how I'm not going to get kicked off at some point. I don't know. Am I still connected? I'm getting a bad connection here, aren't I? My Google Fiber that I had at the old house doesn't work here. They don't. This is not an available service area, so I've got AT&T, which is way worse. What's up, Eric? Yeah, I got a second strike. I had just had one strike roll off, so I've been on two strikes for a while, and then one of them fell off, so I was all happy. I got down to one strike. I applied for monetization because I hit 1,000 subs, and they denied my monetization because I had one existing community strike, and so I just decided to get another one. Um, for medical misinformation is what they called it. Even though the video in dispute, actually, the video in dispute is arrest these motherfuckers, and they're short videos about sketchy things about the producers of about big pharma, basically. There's 13 of them on my Bitchute channel. There's one here on this one. I One of them, I think it was number 4 or 5, got a is the one that got removed and flagged. So when that happened and I was down and I had two strikes, I then removed the rest of them from here. I had like 6 on here. I removed the rest of them from here except for the very first one that's still here, but all 13 of them are on BitChute. Like like every day or just once you had to show them. That's a better reason to have a strike. None of my CS Joseph videos ever got strikes. Of course, I probably don't say as direct of insults about him. I've heard you go off on some good rants. Yeah, yeah, I know. Shame on them for censoring you. Shame on him for being a con man, and God bless you for being a martyr. So you lost your monetization too, then, didn't you? I didn't realize you couldn't get monetized if you have a strike at all, which is absolutely stupid. So, of course, I've never planned on monetizing anyways. I honestly didn't think that I'd be able to keep my mouth shut long enough to make it to 1,000. And all my videos have those little song clips played in. I've never expected this to be a revenue generator. And if somehow I did end up generating revenue from YouTube activity, it wouldn't be through YouTube clicks. It would be through some, I don't know, Patreon or product sales or something else. Yep, that's what it was. And the funny thing is that the one that I got a strike on actually didn't ever even say the disease at all. I bleeped out the 2 spots in the original where they said the name of the thing, but I bleeped it. But apparently that didn't matter. And I would, I got, want to push back. I know I'm nitpicking, but not against medical experts. There are fuckloads of medical experts who have conflicting opinions from the mainstream narrative. What they're speaking up against is people who contradict the the industry. They're promoting a product. If you have an opinion that contradicts their advertising, and I do believe that all those doctors, all the Dr. Fauci's, and any all the health department directors, whatever, anybody who's they're all it's all marketing. Dr. Fauci is an advertiser first, more than a medical, more than a sincere medical professional. He's an advertiser and a bureaucrat who went to med school. He's not a virologist. Fun fact: Dr. Fauci has no virology degree, no advanced medical training. He just has an MD. He's not a virologist. Was he talking about me? I haven't been. Actually, I did just start like for a long since I made my last video. I hadn't. Uh, I normally don't pay a lot of attention to him, but somebody told me about the video he made where women submit to men, and I watched that. That is such a good video that there's nothing left to say about it. It's like you guys don't need me to point out that he's a douchebag. He's doing it himself. Anybody can see this. It's insane. Um, I did enjoy that. So I've been kind of watching it a little bit more just lately than I had in a long time. Um, because his shit on male female relationship interaction dynamics is just it's so flavored with angry MGTOW, you know. Okay, well, I better wrap up pretty soon. I need a cigarette. My internet connection is shitty. I'm gonna get through a few more comments first. That's fucked up. All right. Well, I just jumped down to the bottom. I'm gonna wrap up. If you have any, if I jumped over your comment and it's something you would like me to address before I get off, redrop it. Oh yeah, that was a while ago. That was like that was like 2 years ago. He ended up eating his words. I don't have a clue which video, but he ended up addressing that shortly after that. After he said that the next time he mentioned me, it was, he needed to clarify his statement about, felons and what he really meant, which means he backpedaled off it. He got a lot of shit for that, actually, more than I would have expected. Yes. See, I was just telling Fly Guy earlier how cigarettes are my cigarettes at least are 2 servings of vegetables because you get one for the tobacco, you get one for the menthol. All right, I am out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the things that you do and do all the things. Later.